Good day everyone. This is Ryan F. Junaldo from St. Paul University, Surigao, taking up Bachelor of Science in Mining Engineering. This time, I'm going to discuss to you the highlights of the People's Small-Scale Mining Law, RA 7076, and its implementing rules and regulation. So first, I'm going to define the small-scale mining. Small-scale mining refers to mining activities that rely heavily on manual labor using simple tools and methods. It does not use explosives or heavy mining equipment and requires only a small capital investment. The small-scale mining in the Philippines has been practiced long before the Spaniard colonized the country. However, until the 70s, small-scale mining was limited to intermittent alluvial gold placer, in which recovery was through direct panning or using crude sluice bags. In the 80s, it became a significant contributor to the minerals industry and the national economy with the discovery of the gold rush site in Davao and the sporadic panning activities that followed in 37 other provinces. During that time, production from small-scale and panning activities reached a record high of 11 tons, higher than the production of primary and secondary producers, while over 500,000 miners and their households were directly benefited. Next is the declaration of policy in this act. The state promotes, develops, protects, and regionalizes viable small-scale mining activities in order to generate more employment opportunities and provide an equitable sharing of the nation's wealth and natural resources, giving due regard to existing rights. The RA 7076 established the People's Small-Scale Mining Program to be implemented by the Secretary of the Department of Environmental Natural Resources. The law was principally intended to generate more employment opportunities in small-scale mining and to bring about the equitable sharing of the wealth and natural resources of the country through the implementation of the People's Small-Scale Mining Program. The DNR subsequently issued Department Administrative Order Number 34 Series of 1992 rules and regulation to implement the People's Small-Scale Mining Program. RA 7076 established the People's Small-Scale Mining Program to be implemented by the Secretary of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, DNR, through the Provincial City Mining Regulatory Board, PMRCB or CMRB. It is to achieve orderly, systematic, and rational scheme for the small-scale mining development and utilization of mineral resources in certain mineral areas in order to address the social, economic, technical, and environmental problems connected with small mining activities. The program includes the following features. First is the identification, segregation and reservation of certain mineral lands of people, small-scale mining areas. Second is the recognition of prior existing rights and productivity, the encouragement of the information of cooperatives, the extension of technical assistance and financial assistance and other social services, the extension of assistance in processing and marketing, the generation of ancillary livelihood activities, the regulation of the small-scale mining industry with a view to encourage growth and productivity, and lastly, the efficient collection of government revenue. RA 7076 authorizes the PMRB or CMRB to declare and set aside people's small-scale mining areas in sites onshore suitable for small-scale mining subject to review by the Secretary through the Director. The following areas may be declared as people's small-scale mining area. The area already occupied and actively mined by small-scale miners before August 1, 1987, provided that such areas are not considered as active mining areas, provided further that the minerals found therein are technically and commercially suitable for small-scale mining activities, provided finally that the areas are not covered by existing forest rights or reservations and have not been declared as forest or marine reserves, park and wildlife reservation unless their status as such are withdrawn by competent authority. The public land not subject to any existing right, public land covered by existing mining right which are not active mining areas. The ancestral lands with prior consent from the cultural communities concerned, provided that the members of the cultural communities therein shall be given priority in the awarding of small-scale mining contracts. Next, we have here the features of small-scale mining contracts. First is awarded to registered small-scale miners that have organized themselves into cooperatives. The maximum area of 20 hectares. Then has a term of 2 years, renewable for like periods, issued by the provincial governor or city mayor upon the recommendation of the PCMRB, and may be entered into under any of the following modes of agreement: co-production, joint venture, or mineral production sharing agreement, and ensures workers' safety and health and small-scale miners, and of course ensures the protection of the environment. When it comes to provision on worker health and safety, it provides for adequate sanitation facilities in the form of non-contaminating latrines. It provides for and maintain clean drinking water for all workers, take responsibility for the health and safety of all individual contractors or employees operating within the contract area, to ensure that the use of mercury, cyanide, or any other poisonous substance is handled in accordance with provisions directed by the DENR, and notify the PMRB, CMRB within 5 working days of all accident causing either death or more than 5 days of lost working time. When it comes to provision of protection of the environment, first, to ensure that all areas of activity within the contract area are maintained in a clean and organized manner, proceed with the schedule of tailings and waste management and mine site rehabilitation as documented in the approved mining plan, take responsibility for the control and proper disposal, where applicable, of all waste produced as a result of mining operation, and to comply with all environmental laws, especially with respect to water quality, water course diversion, excess siltation, and undue interference with existing agricultural, fishing, and other legitimate land and water stage. When it comes to People's Small-Scale Mining Protection Fund, first, the People's Small-Scale Mining Law established People's Small-Scale Mining Protection Fund, which provides that 15% of the national government's share of the internal revenue tax or production share due the government shall be used primarily for information dissemination and training of small-scale miners on safety, health and environmental protection, and the establishment of mine rescue and recovery teams, including the procurement of rescue equipment necessary in cases of emergencies such as landslides, tunnel collapse, or the like. The fund shall also be made available to address the needs of the small-scale miners brought about by the accidents or fortuitous events. So, lastly is the sale of gold from SSM. All gold produced is sold to the central bank or its duly authorized representatives, which shall buy it at prices competitive with those prevailing in the world market regardless of volume of weight. The People's Small-Scale Mining Law provides that all gold produced by small-scale miners in any mineralized area or mineral land shall be sold to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas for gold weighing 300 grams and above. or its duly authorized representative for gold weighing below 300 grams at prices competitive with those prevailing in the world market regardless of volume or weight. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.